with Eyes Wide Shut, I know I was speaking to Leon Vitale about Eyes Wide Shut, and he was saying that he thinks that the general interpretation that it's all a dream is going a bit too far. That he didn't think that was Kubrick's intention. For me, it feels like he was very kind of comfortable in the world that he had created, the Tom Cruise character. And when this revelation comes from his wife, I think that's when he realizes he's been sleepwalking through his life. What do you think of the dream element of Eyes Wide Shut?
Typically ambiguous Kubrick. People can argue about that, and I guess I do tend to think that his Odyssey, although it's not presented strictly in dreamlike terms, there's no soft focus, and you don't have any sort of weird transition through the camera that says, okay, we're now entering a dream world. Mm-hmm. It all has the surface reality that seems to suggest this is literally happening. But I find it interesting that so much happens to him sexually. So many temptations happen to him in the 24 hours after he discovers his wife had thoughts of infidelity, and his world kind of has come crashing down there, his confidence. And so I think Kubrick wants it both ways at once. It is kind of dreamlike because there's, how likely is it that so many temptations would have come across his plate in such a short period of time, including this incredibly elaborate high society orgy, which is probably the scariest scene I've ever seen. And the thing with the Christmas lights, the Christmas tree lights, and maybe it's entirely possible I'm reading too much into this, but you see them from the very beginning until right towards the end when Bill Hartford walks into his house after his final confrontation with Ziegler in his apartment, and he turns the lights off for the Christmas tree. Otherwise, you see them everywhere. You see them in Domino's apartment. You see them just everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, this dream-like episode, whether it's literally dream or not, is coming to an end. I'm unplugging the lights, and he goes in and sees the mask and basically makes his confession to his wife, who already made hers to him, earlier after that dream that he woke her up from. And that seems to signal the end of kind of a dreamlike process. But again, Kubrick doesn't use any of the typical movie devices that tell you this is a dreamlike. It's just little things like during the big orgy scene itself, or when he's put on trial, and this woman who tried to warn him earlier to get out, it's dangerous here, appears on the balcony overhead and basically offers herself as a substitute, as a sacrifice, I guess, for Bill. Her language is kind of formal, the way she talks. It is like something artificial. And I'm sure some people think, ooh, that just doesn't sound right. No, that sounds phony. But I'm thinking it is kind of dreamlike in that it sounds ritualistic to me. So I don't know, to tell you the truth. He never wants you to feel certain. And I think that's part of the way he maybe viewed the world.